Welcome back to the Anfield Exchange, and tomorrow night it's the biggest game of the season. It's Liverpool at home to Everton, and I don't know about you guys, but I want to get that revenge for that 2-2 draw earlier in the season. I got quite a bit of stick from Everton fans on YouTube, basically calling them crybabies, basically calling them an amateur side, and yeah, they all sort of came out the woodwork when they got that draw. So yeah, I would like to put it to them. I would like to get a nice convincing win, and hopefully I don't see any of those Everton fans on this video after the game. But first things first, we've got a title to be won, and that's what it's all about. We're here to win the title. We're 12 points clear. We can potentially be 9 clear if Arsenal win the game tonight. And yeah, I think we've got to put all the noise about Trent Alexander-Arnold in the background. He's injured. He's not going to be playing for us. He's going to be going to Real Madrid. I think the sooner we can forget about that, the better it will be for Liverpool's season going forward. In terms of the game itself, look, I think it's going to be more of the same as what we saw at Goodison. I think we've got to start strong. We've not played for 17 days. It feels a lot longer. But yeah, 17 days, we've not played a Premier League game, and obviously we're coming off the back of defeating the Champions League to PSG and the Carabao Cup against Newcastle. So I think this is a time where you've got to put a marker down. You've got to go out from the off and put in a big performance. Obviously, ideally, I think it would be brilliant if we could get an early goal and just sort of stick it to the Everton fans, keep them quiet, and then we can go on and dominate the game. But another thing that Everton did really well in the first game, they played for fouls. They were very much playing for set pieces, and I think we have to be careful about that in this game because I think they're going to do pretty much the same. And look, in the first game, we did commit fouls that it was probably out of frustration. We don't want to do that again. We want to get control of the game, get to grips with it, and basically we need to use our heads because Everton will be trying to frustrate Liverpool, and that if we let them do that, that's when it could turn into a bit of a slugfest, and we don't want that. We want to play our game. If we do play our game, I believe we'll be fine. I'm hoping for a more revitalised performance from Liverpool against Everton. I think the last few performances, this is going back to Southampton and probably a few performances before that, we've looked a bit sluggish. We've looked a bit lethargic, and I'm hoping this international break as I know it's not a break per se because most of the players are still playing matches, but I think it will do them good to get away from Liverpool for a little bit and then come back and sort of have a little bit of a reset. I do think that'll be massive. Like I say, Arsenal could be 9 points behind if they beat Fulham at home. I would expect them to win that. It's an interesting one with Arsenal because where will Arsenal's priorities lie? I think their main focus would be the Champions League. I still think they'll put a strong team out. Obviously, Saka's potentially back, so that could be interesting. But yeah, I think we've got to just go out there, do a professional job, and make sure that Everton don't get in our heads. They don't allow us to play their game, and we can control the game and create chances from the off. Because yeah, we really struggled at Goodison. In terms of absences, there's a couple of doubts which I think they'll be fine. We'll have to wait for Arne Slott's press conference. At time of recording, that hasn't been released. Alisson was a doubt on international duty. I think he had a head injury with Brazil. Gravenberch also took a little bit of a knock. It'll be touch and go to see whether he's back. I would expect him to be back. Conor Bradley, he could potentially be back, but I don't think he's going to be fit enough to start the game, obviously in Trent's absence. So I would expect to probably see Quansah. I don't know. It's a bit of a conundrum at right back because I think the reason Salah does so well when Trent plays behind him is because he's got somebody that is close to him and will spend the majority of his time in what I would say a more advanced wing back role. So he's got obviously Trent a little bit closer to him. I don't expect Quansah to play like that. He's more of a defence minded right back. He's not actually right back, is he? So I think he's done a very good job the times where he's been brought into right back. But yeah, I'm a bit worried about the right back position. I mean, there's options. Curtis Jones has apparently played there for the youth team and did a decent job. I don't mind that, Curtis Jones, because I think what that gives you the option to do, obviously Trent plays as a sort of inverted fullback, and I think if you have a natural centre midfielder playing that role, it allows you to get bodies in the midfield. Where I feel like we drew the game last time. I thought we were probably not on. We didn't have control of the game in midfield like we'd have wanted to. So I think having Curtis Jones potentially at right back, playing a sort of hybrid role, I actually think that could work. It would give us an extra body in midfield. Do I think he's going to do that? I don't. I think he's going to go for Quansah. And yeah, everything he's done to this point, when Bradley and Trent Alexander-Arnold have been out, points to Quansah starting at right back. In terms of the key battles, I think there's some good battles in there. I think Cody Gakpo versus Jake O'Brien will be interesting on the left wing. Jake O'Brien, he did well when he played against us. He's been an ever presence for David Moyes, and he's actually done a good job. So I think Gakpo could have a tough time against Jake O'Brien. Salah versus what I would believe will be Mykolenko or potentially Ashley Young. Look, we know what Salah can do. We know how dangerous he can be. I think it would be an interesting battle if we put Ashley Young out there, because would that entice Salah to make more of an effort to run at his man and take his man on, whereas in recent weeks where he's up against a younger, more pacey left back, he tends to pick the ball up and try to find a pass. So that could be interesting if Ashley Young starts her. I think Salah would still have a pace on Ashley Young. He certainly would. So yeah, that could be interesting. But I would imagine he'll be up against Mykolenko just for that youth and the added pace that he would bring into the club. We've touched on the midfield. I think the midfield is a key battle amongst all those players in there. Like I said, if you could find a way to get Curtis Jones in there as an extra man, I wouldn't be opposed to it. But I think he's going to pretty much go the way he's gone most of the season. And yeah, I don't see him doing that with Curtis Jones. I think it's a massive part of this game. I think it will be where it's won and lost. If Liverpool can get control over it, then I think we could be in for quite a straightforward day, despite it being a Merseyside derby. It all depends what midfield turns up, because if Gravenberch starts, we know recent weeks it's not been the same Gravenberch as who played for the first 6 months of the season. McAllister's always sort of reliable in there, so I'm not worried about that. Szoboszlai, plenty of running in there. It's whether he can get enough of a ball at his feet. But yeah, we need to turn up with a lot more energy than what we've shown in recent weeks. Hopefully this international break will have reset us and we'll have a little bit more energy than we've seen recently. Listen, this is where the title's won now in games like these. If we can win our home games, we've pretty much won the title. I don't think we need to worry about what Arsenal are doing, but what we need to make sure we do, especially if Arsenal win that game against Fulham, you're gonna see the media try to entice people into believing that this is still a title race. I truly believe it's not. I truly believe that we will go on and win the title quite comfortably. I still think Arsenal will probably drop more points than we will. But what you don't want to happen is Arsenal get the win against Fulham, we slip up against Everton, and then everybody's talking Jamie Carragher, Gary Neville, talking about obviously a title race that's not really on, even if that was to happen. But you know how people jump on the bandwagon on social media, and everyone will be saying, "Oh, Liverpool bottle jobs." That's what we don't want to happen. In terms of the starting lineup, I think we could all probably name the starting lineup for this game. Alisson in goals, as long as he's fully fit. I think Robbo left back, Van Dijk, Canate and Quansah at the back. I think he's going to go for McAllister, Gravenberch, Szoboszlai, his ever-trusted midfield. Salah on the right, Gakpo on the left, I think. And I think he's probably going to go for Luis Diaz up front again and see how that works out. I would like to personally see Nunes or Jota. I think... Am I correct in thinking Diaz started in the first game up front? I think he did. And we didn't really create any chances. I'd like to see an out-and-out striker get the chances that we never created in the first game. So, yeah, I would like to see Jota, I think, over Nunes. But it has to be Jota of old and not the Jota we've seen in the last few weeks. Again, we'll see. We know one thing's for sure, the crowd's going to be on it. Like I say, there's not been a game for 17 days. The Liverpool fans are going to turn up for this one. And they are going to be supporting the team. And hopefully that can be enough to get us over the line in this game. If it does become a bit of a slugfest, we'll have to wait and see. I actually think, in terms of a score prediction, I actually think that I want to say it's going to be quite comfortable, but I know the last time I said that in the score prediction, it didn't end up that comfortable. But I'm going to go for a 3-1 win for Liverpool. I think we'll keep a nice gap between Everton. I do think they'll score, but I think Liverpool will win 3-1. And look, Mo Salah, he's going to get on the score sheet, innit? And then who knows, maybe he'll announce his new contract extension. That would be the dream. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think the score prediction will be, and I'll see you on the next one.